Greetings, this is Rashilo. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Rashilo said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir?
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
You know, I mentioned on someone else's show, I don't know if it was one of DI's interviews, but talked about this idea of a dating protocol, just like the Sistren in the book mentioned. And so I talked about it, and it's termed Ye Selassie Sib Saba. Okay, and so Ye Selassie Sib Saba in Amharic translates pretty much into a trinity of meetings, right? And so along each of these meetings or these purposeful connections, there should be things that are discussed, so that outline should already be there. We're going to talk about economics. We're going to talk about child rearing. We're going to talk about repatriation. We're going to talk about whether one works outside of the household and what does that look like, right? And we're going to talk about, do we want to be married legally or do we want to have a commitment ceremony? We want to talk about our living, is one a fruitarian and the other one, is a raw foodist. I mean, what does all of this look like, right? And so I think that, couples, potential couples, right, should take the time to really and truly identify these three particular meetings. Think about it as a Solomon and Sheba kind of vibration. Sheba or Makeda is coming to prove him with hard questions. Well, look at the Ye Selassie Sib Saba as a time of the both of you proving each other with hard questions.
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabe is giving birth in a place called Erjersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tafari, meaning one to be feared or respected. Tafari's father, Ras Tafari, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras Tafari is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras Tafari knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwasi Bansu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
Oh, I think you hit the nail on the head with those because, especially from a woman's perspective, I hear the economics a lot too. I hear, Rastafari brethren at one point, were dealing with certain things. You know what I'm saying? When it came to economics.
Her
And
money a flow. Her money a flow like
yeah,
rain. Yes.
right. And during them time there, things was okay. You know what I'm saying? But then as that began to dry up, and more Sistrens entered the workforce, you know, the brethren, it seemed like a lot of them didn't find alternative careers. You know what I'm saying? So now you have somebody who used to be a big gun, big money gun, right? Now he's just sitting around the house and being a live at home dad, and the Sistren is out there. And so when you have a change in dynamics like that, you're going to have a change in the relationship, And I hear so many Sistren talk about the fact that, they're out there hustling and hustling hard. And now they're beginning to actually feel masculine, right? So you hear brethren want to talk about, they want, women to embody their femininity. Well, if she's going out there and she's the main hustler, right? Even if you might be helping out with making food and taking the kids to school, deep down inside, she feels hard, because when she goes out there, mind you, she's not just going out there to a job. She's going out there into a system, the same system that many brethren avoid because they burn it out and they feel like it is so counter who they are. Well, what about the conscious Rasta woman? You know what I'm saying? This same system is oppressive to her too. And so you have all of those things, then you also have children now who are part of this situation, and she has to try to counter it because they're not going to a Rasta school, most of them. So now she's having to counter what Babylon is inputting in her fruit, so it's a lot of tension. And so going back to His Majesty, when he talks about clearly these things had to be lined up before he sought a wife, I think that we do need to really and truly sit down and talk about economics, talk about lifestyle, exactly how is it that the couple wants to live. You know what I'm saying? If the Sistren, wants a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house, and the brethren is cool, with a shanty, it's not gonna work. You understand? And I mean, really and truly, you have, and then unfortunately, one begins to make the other feel a way about his or her desires, and all of those things contribute to, the frustration that's happening within the Rastafari liberty. Another thing too is timing. I mentioned on someone else's show, I don't know if it was one of DI's interviews, but talked about this idea of a dating protocol, just like the Sistren in the book mentioned. And so I talked about it, and it's termed Ye Selassie Sib Saba. Okay, and so Ye Selassie Sib Saba in Amharic translates pretty much into a trinity of meetings, right? And so along each of these meetings or these purposeful connections, there should be things that are discussed, so that outline should already be there. We're going to talk about economics. We're going to talk about child rearing. We're going to talk about repatriation. We're going to talk about whether one works outside of the household and what does that look like, right? And we're going to talk about, do we want to be married legally or do we want to have a commitment ceremony? We want to talk about our livid, is one a fruitarian and the other one, is a raw foodist. I mean, what does all of this look like, right? And so I think that, couples, potential couples, right, should take the time to really and truly identify these 3 particular meetings. Think about it as a Solomon and Sheba kind of vibration. Sheba or Makeda is coming to prove him with hard questions. Well, look at the Ye Selassie Sib Saba as a time of the both of you proving each other with hard questions.
So what structure would house this? Would we need a separate organization, or would it be done through the houses and the mansions? How does I envision this to be implemented?
Well, Lalibela Institute is definitely primed for this type of creativity, right? Creating of this type of juncture where Rastafari, Brethren, and Sistren come together. So, but it also could be done in individual houses, but there has to be a model, right? And so the Ye Selassie Sib Saba is an opportunity for ones, and I actually have an outline for it. Ones can tweak it and decide, I think I would rather use this, but it's actually, I have a pamphlet that I've written on this whole process and what it looks like. And so I think that the sooner we engage in this process, the better. The whole umbrella that everything is up under is Haile Selassie's talking about a new race, right? Because what does this new race look like? And I think definitely that it is the new Rastafari man and woman, not new in the terms of just falling away, right? Or pulling away from the tradition, but the Rastafari man and woman that overstand at the mind is genderless. Okay. So, a lot of the gender constraints that we placed on each other, we really need to go back and we really need to analyze how much of those gender norms are African centered, how many of them are Eurocentric, tainted. And so and then on top of that, as Rastafari, what is specific to our livity? So we take a little bit, right, from our ancient culture, and then we infuse it with our African New World experience.
Well, Haile Selassie the first of the Almighty, and this is the Dejazmatch Kwasi, and the mission, that's the restoration of the black family. Who Jah bless me, say no one curse. Black woman, it's time to merge. Black redemption, we're on the verge. Well, I don't care what you heard. Haile Selassie first, him no second or third. Cause even when their lines are blurred, the eyes stand straight, no bend, no curve. And him give you the love you deserve. Him don't come fi dominate, him come fi serve. Showed us the way home, I live his words. But I can't do it alone, so black woman, let's merge. High tall, sip and herbs, we merge. Massage fi calm her nerves, we merge. Together all demon purge, we merge. Another family emerge, we merge. We spoke and no speech was slurred, we merge. We agreed that Babylon's absurd, we merge. We had pain, now we feel cured, we merge. Hail the king, now she conquered. Well, I don't care what you heard. Haile Selassie first, him no second or third. Cause even when their lines are blurred, the eyes stand straight, no bend, no curve. And him give you the love you deserve. Him don't come fi dominate, him come fi serve. Showed us the way home, I live his words. But I can't do it alone, so black woman, let's merge. We met, something was stirred, we merge. Can't forget things that occurred, we merge. Take plane and start fly like bird, we merge. Friends and family observe, we merge. Them a spend while we conserve, we merge. From our goals we were not deterred, we merge. Till our energy transferred, we merge. Now our memories converge.